An inquiry roadmap is a super fun way to lead your students through an inquiry based learning project. And it can be customized, it doesn't have to be inquiry based, it can be project based, it can be your own design. But it's a way to fit your specific needs and interest of your students, and you can adjust the content to align with your curriculum. So let me show you an example. This was a full on inquiry um, project that the students did where they chose different paths of what they wanted to discover about a scientific topic. So they first went to this Padlet and they decided which area of science they want to do their project. And then they came up with questions about that particular study. And then they learned how to cite sources. And then they came up with their claim. So I actually had ChatGPT help me get directions for developing a claim in, this was for seventh grade. So they developed their claim and then they started to look at the interest, why they are interested in the project, and then they wrote a paragraph about why they were interested in the project or that particular topic. And then they looked up the history of the topic. So they found the most important dates and then wrote a paragraph about their history of the topic. And then they went through and did the current findings about what is currently going on with their topic, and then future implications. And then they wrote a conclusion, and then they built a presentation. And they kept track of all of their paragraphs here along with their sources, and then they copied and pasted and put them together into one big report. So this was an awesome inquiry project about different topics that they wanted to explore in the life sciences. So let me show you how you could build one. And we do have an inquiry roadmap. It's kind of a hyperdoc because we're going to put links, but a lot of our projects have been in that realm of hyperlinking to resources. Um, so we've got the roadmap, and you can design this. This one's a little race car one. I've got a couple other templates, and then of course I have that one I did on science. If you want that one, go ahead and file, make a copy. In an inquiry driven classroom, students learn context by exploring question and attempting to answer those questions. Students start with a question, they conduct their research, they interpret the information, and they communicate their conclusions. So, an inquiry question should be complex, not just yes or no, have specific in language. It's resist vague or undefined words, and clear and concise. So you should ignite curiosity. So the first step is to go ahead and come up with a hook. So there's a lot of different ideas, and all of these are hyperlinked to give you some ideas about a hook. And then there are more ideas here, and this is from the Harvard Project Zero about thinking routines. And then you will give them research to conduct, and you can give them primary sources, reading, videos. I'll work through one on the American Revolution to kind of give you some ideas. And then once you give them all of the items to explore, then there are related tasks for them to complete for each of the steps. And then finally, they'll answer the essential question. And this is also by Amanda Sandoval. I love her work. All right. So I have 2 different blueprints. If you like this one, of course, you can file make a copy of that one as well. This one's a race car one, and then this one is a little cruise one. And if you go to Twitter or X, I still have to call it Twitter, but if you go to X and you look up inquiry roadmaps, people have designed tons of different ones out there that you could also get a template for. So start off by a theme or a topic that go along with a specific learning goal or standard. And I'm going to choose, since we're doing 4th of July theme for this, for these demonstrations, I'm going to do the American Revolution. And then I'm going to start off with a hook. So I'm going to use this template, which is the little roadmap one, and I'm going to click use template. I jumped a step, which is the most important, is to come up with an essential question. And just for formatting, I'm going to shrink that back down. And I came up with an essential question. What are the key events and turning points of the American Revolution, and how did it affect the overall outcome? So, this is what they're going to have to answer at the very end. So I'm going to put my essential question here again, and they're going to answer there. All right, so then we need a hook. And if you go through this template, she is giving you example. So you just want to go through and remove those links. You can look at the example ones, but you'll want to remove those links. And that's what this note is for. All right. So a hook, there's this song, the Liberty Song. I decided this would be a fun way to hook them into the lesson to listen to a song. So I'm going to paste that hyperlink to that YouTube video. And then I need to come up with a question for them to answer after they watch the video. So I came up with actually 2 questions. Oops, put it in both squares. How were the colonists feeling at this time, and how did they feel about British taxation? And then they'd answer the question there. Then they'd come back up and they're going to read about the American Revolution. I found an ABC Clio wonderful article about the American Revolution. If you would like the ABC Clio login for your students, if they're on ECSD Wi Fi, they will automatically be logged in. But if they're at home, email me. I will give you the ECSD login for ABC Clio. It's a product brought to us by the state of Nevada. All right, then we have a video. So they read an article, and honestly, you could put whatever you want. You could have them read another article. You could have them do something else. You can change those words. It doesn't have to be a video. It's just giving you an idea. I'm actually going to switch the last 2 when I get there. But I am going to use a brain pop video, and I could go through and assign this to my students and just send them to brainpop.com, and it would be listed there. Then I know that they watched it. But I am going to just copy this link and put it here. Now, I actually did not go down and put my read question. So down here under read, I have a question for them. After they read that ABC Clio, they're going to come up with the main challenges faced by both the Continental Army and the British Army during the American Revolution, and how did these challenges influence the strategies and outcomes of the war, leading to the essential question, part of the essential question. For the video, I'm going to have them take the Brain Pop quiz and then put your score in the square. And so over here, I'm going to ask for their score, and I might even insert another table within it so they have a place to put their score. I sometimes like to do that. All right. And I'm going to give them a link to that quiz. I could once again assign it here in BrainPop, and then I would actually get their score, or I can just copy the link. And maybe I'm just going to type link to quiz. And hyperlink that. All right, so then I'm going to have them explore this Nearpod on the effects of the American Revolution, which is jammed packed. I would probably go through and edit this because it has tons of collaborative boards, matching pairs, polls, slideshows. It has a ton in here. And so it'd probably take them a couple days to actually do this Nearpod itself with videos and open-ended questions. It would be great for them to do it, but just because it might not all be what I want them to know for this particular example, I might go through and edit and delete or add my own information. But it's a great starting point, but it is really a fabulous lesson. Look at all of this. It keeps going and going and going. All right. So if I want to use it, I'm going to do it in student pace because we're not going to be doing it as a whole class where I control the pace of it. So I'm just going to grab that link right there. And I found that in the Nearpod library that we have access to. So I'm going to do explore, hyperlink the explore. And then down under this, it says look, it's supposed to say explore. I'm going to put in my questions. What are two of the reasons why the American colonists wanted independence from Great Britain? Once again, going along with the essential question, the key events and turning points, because some of the causes are the key events. All right, then maybe I would do like a 1 and a 2 to make sure that they know they have to do 2. I have decided to switch reflect and review. So I'm going to have them review first and then reflect at the very end. You can do whatever you want. It is, you are designing this. All right. So review. I found this awesome interactive from Discovery Ed, and this one they go through all of this. The war begins and all the battles. So it walks them through every single battle. The war in the West, the Treaty of Paris. So it is a fun. It provides an overview of the major battles of the American Revolution from the war's beginning to Lexington and Concord. It gives them all of this information about each one. And it slowly moves through and describes it all. So I want to share this and I want to grab that link to it. I can also just copy the URL at the top. Remember, with Discovery Ed, just like BrainPop, students do need to log into their Clever portal. So I could just put the Clever portal, told them to go to Discovery Ed, but I'd probably just at the beginning of the class have everyone log into their Clever portal, and then they'd easily be able to click on these links. And then I'm going to have them answer the question, what are 3 major battles of the American Revolution? I would probably give them and describe each one and explain the outcome of each battle. There we go. And that, once again, goes along with our essential question. Finally, this is actually review because I switched them. And then I'm going to have them reflect on their learning. It's always good to have a little metacognition, and I'm going to go to my metacognition toolbox. I will put this on our inquiry roadmap here under materials if you want to use it. I have all of these pre-designed metacognition activities. I'm going to use start, stop, continue, and this is a Google form that you can make a copy of. And they think about their learning. So it's digesting how they're feeling about their learning. So, what new ideas did you have? What would you need to continue your learning? And what stopped you from learning? And then rate your understanding. You, of course, can delete and add and do whatever you want to these. So, I'm going to click send and I'm going to go grab the link. I'm going to copy that link so they can fill this out, and I'm going to put it here on Reflect. And then under here, I want to know what they put. So name one new idea from your learning. You can ask them any question. All right. And then finally, they would answer their essential question. And voila, you have created an inquiry roadmap. All right, you would just make sure that you provide the hyperlinks to the resources and guiding questions. And then you'd also want an area for students to present their findings. On this one, they'd write it out here, but you could also have them present their findings in a Google slideshow or Discovery Ed Studio Board or in Canva through the different templates they have in there. So you don't have to just stick to just typing out the essential question. You could have them make a project. And then just go ahead and check off your schematics that you did all of that. And that is your inquiry roadmap project.